Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel Living in Canada. In today's video, I want to talk about my first impressions visiting the city of Kitchener for the first time. And in advance, apologies for the quality and inconsistency of the audio. I didn't have my sound equipment with me, but I hope that you will still be able to enjoy this video and get an idea of what Kitchener looks like in case you haven't visited yet.
Hi guys, this is my first time in Kitchener and these are my first impressions. We just walked from the GO station and we passed by the Google building. There was also the company Bell. Overall, my first impression for downtown is it's pretty nice. It's quite small and it's a Friday afternoon, so it's rather quiet, not so many people. And right now I'm at the Kitchener City Hall, but overall it looks pretty neat and yeah, a lot of restaurants and so on here, so pretty nice so far.
There's the Oracle office over there and we'll also see Google later. Compared to downtown Toronto, I would say that this feels like a miniature downtown version in a good way.
Over there you can see Crown Plaza. We almost decided to stay for a night here in Kitchener, so Crown Plaza seems to be one of the better hotels. There are not too many options, but if you're looking for a place to stay, then it seems Crown Plaza seems to be one of the better rated ones.
Still in downtown Kitchener, there's the market square, and in the back there's also a farmer's market, but not sure if it's open, so let's check it out. A lot of restaurants around here. Here, for example, a shisha restaurant and lounge. Later on, we're planning to go to the Descendants Brewery.
This seems to be something like a Chinese or Asian grocery store. Chinese and Korean restaurant.
Unfortunately, the market was closed that day, but it would be open the following day on Saturday.
So here we're at Cedar Street. From what I read, it's supposed to not be a very safe area, but let's just check it out. For transportation, there seems to be a lot of cabs around here. I kept seeing cabs while walking.
From what I read, the crime at Cedar Street is very high, but of course that's a relative thing. So I'd really love to know from those of you living in Kitchener if that's actually the case or not. And this is the LRT number 3 that we're going to take now, and I think it goes all the way from Fairview Mall to Conestoga. So our plan is to go to Fairview Mall now and check that out. So let's get some tickets first.
See which ticket we're gonna get. I'm hoping that there's some kind of a day ticket.
So initially I was trying to buy some kind of a day ticket, but I couldn't find it on the screen in the options. If anyone knows how I can buy this day ticket in Kitchener, I would really love to know. Please do let me know in the comments below. So in the end, we figured that we needed to go on pay or validate your ION trip. And by the way, guys, I'd really love to know, do you actually call it LRT or ION or GRT in Kitchener? I'd really love to know that as well. Thanks.
Single ride ticket transfer, $3.50 for two. There are 2 of us, $7. Okay, and now let's pay. Yes, I want a receipt. Credit debit, $7. Okay, and let's pay now. Just gonna tap below here.
So the tickets are being printed here. Here's the second ticket. It expires today at 4:51 p.m. So that's how long it's good for. And I also get some receipts here.
Where do we validate?
So I just asked someone who's looking for the GRT here, and he said that I could use this ticket until 4:51 p.m. I could use it multiple times, and I could also use it on the bus. So far, it seems to me that the GRT operates similar to the TTC in Toronto, where you can have multiple rides and transfers. And this is our route, by the way, guys. So we departed from Kitchener Market, which is relatively close to the GO station, and we're going to Fairview Mall. One thing I noticed that's a bit different than from the streetcars in Toronto is that it seems that the tracks here seem to turn left and right a lot more, and I think that's perhaps because there's only one line, so they need to do those turns to be able to reach different places. And there you can see Hudson's Bay already. What a familiar sight. And here's the GRT bus. We'll take it later. So that trip just now took us roughly 15 minutes, and here we are at Fairview Park. So apparently it's called Fairview Park. I'm not sure if the people here call it Fairview Mall.
The mall looks pretty much the same like the CF at in Toronto.
There's also a Best Buy there and a Cineplex.
Looks very similar to the CF malls in Toronto, but it's only one level here, unlike the CF Eaton Center, which has, I think, 3 levels. So stepping into the mall, it kind of looks like the lower level part of Eaton Center. Size-wise, I would say it's something like CF Sherway, perhaps. Interestingly, here you have your winners inside the CF mall instead of as a separate building. And back there, I also saw linen chest. I'd say it's a bit less upscale than Eaton Center, but you have, for example, your Fossil here, you have Banana Republic, but in between there are nested some smaller, less upscale stores. Sephora, and over there, interestingly, you can also find Walmart. So Walmart here is within the CF mall. And Walmart is basically a Walmart. Snack time. So we didn't really have any lunch in Toronto. We just had a ham croissant sandwich and some coffee. So this is kind of our snack, and later on we've got to have a proper dinner. So this is my first time eating New York fries, and they're actually really, really good. So first impression here, I feel it's a bit more relaxed and laid back, less of a metropolitan vibe. And from what I understand, the rent here, living cost in Kitchener is cheaper compared to Toronto. I think rent is about 20% or so cheaper. So that's something to consider.
We're heading back to downtown now, just here for a half day, so not that much time. Since our tickets already expired, we needed to get new tickets, so these will be good till 6:39. So overall, in terms of public transportation so far, I found it very, very easy to use, very straightforward. Apart from the buses, there's only this one main line, which in Toronto would be equivalent to the streetcar. And a bit of a change of plans. Instead of stopping at downtown, we decided to just take the LRT all the way up to the University of Waterloo and do our sightseeing from within the LRT. Because we didn't have much time, we thought that that would be the easiest way to do it. And anyway, we had already paid for the ticket. And from what I could tell, from my first impression, I would say that Kitchener is really a neat and beautiful city. It's pretty small, but overall, it's quite tidy and easy to navigate.
And this here is Kitchener City Hall. And here we're at the Central Station, which connects to the GO train terminal.
So earlier, what we could have done instead was to take this LRT from the GO station to downtown and elsewhere instead of walking, but, well, tourists, right? And here we're at Waterloo Public Square, a place for small gatherings and events, and as you can see, there are tons of booths here. We just passed Laurier Waterloo Park Station, and what I find really cool here is that there's a bike lane, a bike path next to the tracks, which is separate from the street, so that provides an extra layer of safety for the bikers. And also, it seems like in general, Kitchener Waterloo is a pretty bike-friendly city, at least from what I could see. There are many bike paths all around the city.
We're at the University of Waterloo, and definitely a very, very strong student vibe.
And this here is the Research and Technology Station. So my overall impression is that if you were to study here at the University of Waterloo, it seems like it's really easy to get around. By the way, guys, in case you're wondering where we're headed, our plan is to go to Conestoga Mall, which is located at Conestoga Station, which is the end and final station of the LRT, or Line 301. I wish I knew what they actually called it here. Our whole trip, starting from Kitchener Market Station to Conestoga Mall, will take us 33 minutes in total. So actually, we've left Kitchener for a while now. I'm not really sure where Kitchener really ends, so I would also be really curious to know where the exact delineation is. But overall, talking about the Waterloo region here, I would say that the difference to Toronto is that it's much less done. Everything is much more spaced out, and it just feels less crowded and less densely populated, which, yeah, it is.
So this is Conestoga Mall, and there's also a Sport Check over there. There also seems to be another Winners, H&M, Indigo.
Not really sure, but just looking at the mall from the outside, it seems that Conestoga Mall is much larger than Fairview Mall.
So here we are. It really looks and feels pretty much the same. There's Aritzia, you have Sephora, Hudson's Bay, Bath and Body Works, and so on. There's a supermarket here called Zayre's Supermarket. Zayre's Market, I guess. Shoppers Drug Mart. Here we are at another Winners. The only big difference that I noticed is that in this mall there are more students compared to Fairview Mall.
And yes, it's dinner time already, and we're heading to Descendants Beer, which is a brewery. And for that, we're going to take bus number 6, which will take us around 30 minutes.
And our tickets are still good until 6:39 p.m. So we should be able to just scan these.
So pretty straightforward to use. You just scan the barcode. And actually, we could just have taken an Uber, and that would have saved us a ton of time. We would have been there in perhaps 10 minutes or less. But when I go to a new city, I actually like taking the bus and spending time going around neighborhoods because that gives me a better idea of how everything looks. We just passed another restaurant that's called Veslo, restaurant that sells schnitzel and the lights. Looks really good, but well, next time.
Okay, crossing this track now.
So here we are, ready for some beer. And here we decided to just get a flight of 4 beers so that we can taste different beers. So they brew everything here at the brewery. And since it was still relatively early, around 6, 7-ish, it was relatively quiet, not many people there. Surprisingly, the food was sold by a different company, which is called Little Mushroom, and the menu sounded very promising with a lot of finger food, etc. And the price was okay, but it turned out to be a bit of a disappointment because the server said that the food would take around 15 minutes, which is longer than usual, but then after 30 minutes, nothing came out, and we had to go to the counter several times to ask for our food. But overall, visiting Descendants Beer was a pretty nice experience, looking at the brewing station. And shortly after we arrived, there was also a band that was setting up, so there was going to be live music this night, but we unfortunately couldn't stay to listen to it. Here are our beers. Don't ask me what they were exactly, I can't remember, but one was an IPA and one was a stout, which I really liked. Unfortunately, because there was background music, I can't use the original audio either. But anyways, this one here is the stout, and yeah, I really like this one. This was really good. This one here, I think, is called the Red Hefeweizen, and this was also good. It tasted very refreshing, but a tad sour, but that was okay for me. My husband didn't really like it that much. And this here is the peach flavored one. This one tasted very fruity, also very refreshing and light if you're into that. But overall, I would say that the stout was the winner. And on food, we spent about $40, including tax, I think. So this is the pulled pork burger with some tortilla chips and salsa and some chicken wings. And overall, I would say the taste was okay, but maybe because I prefer crispy chicken wings to the, what's it called, the wet chicken wings, I wasn't that amazed by them. Yeah, I think the taste was okay, but I must say it wasn't really that special either. But when you're hungry, anything tastes good. The most unexpected thing of all were the tents, the dozens of tents next to the GO station. I really do hope that they find a solution to that soon. And very close nearby is the Google headquarters here. I hope you can see it. And as you can see as well, it's turning dark, and we're going to have to rush back to the GO station in order to catch the last train back to Toronto, which is at 8:45, almost 9 o'clock. We had a really fun day, so I would really recommend you to do a day trip or a half day trip to Kitchener. But whether or not I would live here, I would still need to do a ton of research, so not sure about that yet. Maybe that's something to talk about another time. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and have an awesome day.